Hello everyone, welcome to Sweaty Casuals, brought to you by the Snowflake Sanctuary Discord server. This is a podcast where we usually talk about the A to Z's of the games we love to play, from the state of ranked games to our thoughts on the newest sensations and everything in between. My name is Zach, and along with my co-host, Nox, we will be your guide as we traverse Elo Hell. Small reminder, we do swear, so viewer discretion is advised. Today we're joined by Bunny and Adamacious, who we'll be calling Adam, and Phoon and Phoon 2. Yes, those are the names that we actually use. Two of the couples in our Discord server, and we'll be discussing some of the ins and outs of gaming couples. So this week we're going to do our usual icebreaker, just like we always do, and we're going to talk about what games are you not allowed to play with your significant other, or if you don't have any of them, which are the ones you never play together. It seems like Bunny has a thought here.
So I mentioned this the other night. One game I cannot play with Adam is Apex.
Yes.
I tried to get him to play Apex, I think for a night maybe.
Yeah, we played
And it was like the hardest thing ever. Because I'm like a go in and do it type of thing, where he's like sniping like across the map. And
also I was very noobish.
yeah.
It was funny because it's the only game where was like way better than me at this game. So yeah, she's like tagging along this toddler who's just looking at shiny objects and like, oh, how do you do this again? And
What weapon is this? And so
It is a game that requires some knowledge.
Yeah. So that would probably be my game.
Would you agree, Adam, or do you have a different one?
I mean, the thing is I could easily play that with her and enjoy it, but she would not. And I'm kind of like that with most games. I'm always trying to get her to play various games, but she has like particular interests. So yeah, I don't know that there's one that I would not want her to play with me. I think I'm pretty open.
What about the Phoons?
Okay. I have my answer, but I'll let you go first. What do you think?
No, go ahead, actually.
No, you go ahead.
Love having couples on.
Yeah. To be honest, any opportunity that I get due to my busy schedule just to play any game with her is kind of lucky to have. So yeah, I don't have a specific not to play with Phoon game. But yeah, go ahead. What game am I not allowed to play?
Okay, so this has a stipulation to it, and the game without this meeting the stipulations is Mario Party. Because when we play Mario Party, you tend to be kind of mean sometimes, and I need witnesses there. I specifically need your sisters there to help me bully you when you start winning.
It's just the competitiveness out of me.
Right.
To be fair, if I win Mario Party, I twerk at the end of it. So saying that, but
You'd think he might be like, taking it easy on you then.
maybe.
I will say my significant other is not joining us. But I do have one that I have gamed with in the past. We usually we like different games, so we don't usually cross very often, but we played Overwatch together once. And it kind of reminds me of Bunny's experience with Apex I had been playing the game for 4 years and I just bought him a copy so we could play it together.
Yeah.
I think we played for an hour tops. I think he played Roadhog the entire time.
Oh yes.
And I don't think he's put the game back on his Xbox since. So
oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played a lot of Overwatch together and definitely had some strife. Yes. But we worked well together because she played healer and I played Pharah most of the time, so she'd just fly around with me and
Yeah, we would get hate from the other teammates, but we worked pretty well together.
Yeah, well, everybody likes to hate on the pharmacy.
Yep.
I'm forever single, so I don't have a good answer to this question. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Bunny, Adam, how did you two start playing games together? And when you started playing them, what games were you playing at the time?
So it kind of arose out of necessity for us to be able to spend more time together. I invited her to play Minecraft with me. So I had like a Realms server, and so we started playing Minecraft together, and you liked it?
Yeah. Yeah, I had like my extent of gaming before Adam was like Skyrim and Dragon Age. And it was a console, never on PC. I had a Dell laptop, I remember from college.
Mhm.
And so the only game he could get that my Dell could hold
Right.
was Minecraft. Um, and so yeah, we would play Minecraft on that realm um any chance because he worked 2 jobs at the time. And it was basically we started dating and it was like instantly download Minecraft and we would play it.
Yeah, I got her, indoctrinated pretty quickly to the PC realm.
Yeah.
Got to get her out of the peasantry,
And now we're all addicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, from that, I didn't get an actual PC. Adam built me my first PC probably a year into our relationship. And so I would play his Overwatch
Mhm.
on his PC, which was funny because he was like a DPS player and I was a healer. So he would get like some mercy in there
Mhm.
in his stats
Right.
only because of me.
Yeah, all my stats.
And then
are totally
people would
messed up
think
from that.
I could play Junkrat really well
Right.
because of Adam's stats. And I'm like, no. Like they're like Adamacious, stop playing Mercy and play Junkrat. And I'm
Right.
like, not
I'll
coming
pass.
on chat
Yeah.
for that one.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. So
Yeah, so it was
What
Minecraft.
about the Phoons? What about the
Story.
Phoons?
Oh, can you guys hear us?
Yep.
Sorry.
Got you back.
So I was gonna say, I think it's kind of a sweet story. I wasn't a huge gamer until I really met him. I used to play The Sims, and when I say I was good at like modding The Sims, I was really good at modding The Sims. Like that was my thing. But when it came to playing games with other people, such as Rust is what he got me into. That was all him. He's like, hey, look at this game. You should try it. And then I tried it, and then next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. You're
Mhm.
sitting next to each other while some people in Rust are trying to take your base, and you're blasting polka music because they can't get in, and you want to make them mad. But it wasn't
Yes.
until like very recently, like within the past 2 weeks, that we got a second computer.
Mm.
So playing games has been challenging. Anything you want to add?
Yeah. First experience with Phoon showing me her games was actually Skyrim.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about Skyrim.
That's the same here, right?
Like, look what I did. Opens the door and there's 50 orphans.
Okay.
She's out.
To defend myself, it is so upsetting in Skyrim that you can only adopt 2 kids, right? Especially
Yeah.
if you have to murder their parents. That's just not right. So I decided I was gonna mod Skyrim, get the biggest house I could find on, I think it's like Nexus Mods or something, and then
Mhm.
adopt every single kid in Skyrim, and it crashed my game. But I was happy because they were all adopted. Sorry, continue.
That's
I
awesome.
couldn't defend myself there.
No, that was yeah, that was the first experience, and yeah, I introduced you to Overwatch, and yeah, it was all downhill from there.
Downhill.
All down the Elo hill from there.
Yeah.
I would like to personally thank Phoon too for introducing Phoon to Overwatch,
Yeah.
because that is what brought her first to us, and then obviously Phoon 2, you came along as well. We love having you both here. So I appreciate that you showed her Overwatch whenever you did.
Absolutely. It was a hard push. It took a little bit of time to let her for her to learn, but yeah, I'm happy to that she got into it.
I don't know.
Now
if
she's
we
our
have-
favorite Mercy main.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're doing this now.
Sorry.
Uh, Zach.
Nox, you don't have to paint a target on my back.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's fine. It's all good.
Anyway.
I know we've mentioned some consoles and stuff. So, Phoon 2. What's been your preferred way of playing? Like, I know you had a PlayStation, I believe, PlayStation 4 and a PC for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a big console player in the beginning, but then transitioned into the PC world. But
Transcended, I think, is the word you're looking for.
perfect word. But sometimes I connect the controller to the PC. I don't know. It's instincts, but first person shooter on keyboard and mouse. I was been a huge Counter-Strike player, so but yeah, for me it's both, to be honest. But I know Phoon hates the console, so yeah, keyboard and mouse for you, right?
Yeah, I like to be on PC, but we do utilize the Switch, which I think is like, a beast of its own in comparison to some other
Mhm.
but yeah, I guess not strictly, but most of the time I will be on the PC unless it's Stardew Valley or if I'm visiting my villagers after like, I don't know, 20 months and they're guilt tripping me about it. That's usually the only time I'm oh, it's been like 18 years since you've been here. We've just been sitting here waiting for you to come back. Good feeling.
My Neopets are saying the same thing.
And
Oh,
my
God,
Webkins.
probably starving
Same.
to death.
Yeah.
Not the Neopets.
Funny that you bring up the Switch, because I do feel like that's probably one of the better systems if you want to particularly like how we had a good discussion last week about how couch gaming doesn't really exist in the same way it used to.
Mhm.
I feel like the Switch is the only thing keeping it alive.
Yeah, we got a Switch, and we played like Mario Party, Mario Kart, and yeah, it's that like I've switched over to PC years ago, but I grew up with Nintendo, and when the Switch came out, I was like, I gotta get this. So yeah, we've had a lot of fun playing Mario Party, stuff like that.
I also think it helps just because it is so accessible. I mean,
Mhm.
if you want to introduce somebody into gaming, it's so easy to just be like, here's a controller. None of the mini games in Mario Party are super crazy. They're not super
Mhm.
like, yeah, there are people who are going to tell you exactly every timer and every button press that you need to do at the moment you need to do them, but
Right.
for the most part, you can just kind of take the controller and go, and that's a good way to get involved in gaming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Combat. It's so much fun to just smash buttons, and it's so much fun to like have some knowledge of which buttons you're smashing. So you still don't know enough about like the moves to be able to correlate that. But to have like somebody who hasn't been on the Switch play Mortal Kombat with them, and it'll just be one of the best experiences. You'll never lose. You'll
Yes.
never lose. You'll be like, what's going on, Scarlet? And you'll just be grabbing their spine. It'll be great.
Mhm.
I had an experience like that with the Nintendo 64. So I grew up with one, and then years later, I found one on eBay with GoldenEye. And so I bought a projector so we could play it on my wall, big screen. And I'm telling my friends, like, hey, I got GoldenEye. Have you ever played it? And they're all like, oh, yeah, we're the best. We're great at this game. Well, I mean, I spent the all summer playing this like competitively with my buddies. So we knew we could do like beat it on Secret Agent or whatever it is, 007, all the cheats and stuff. So we play a game and I beat him like 20 to like 1, you know. And then they're like, yeah, we don't want to play with you anymore. So it ruined it all for me. I bought this Nintendo 64 and everything so we could have these great times, and then I guess I dunked on him a little too hard.
It happens.
Yeah, it's some regrets.
I guess returning the question also to Bunny and Adam, what in terms of like console, PC, and the games you play, like what are your preferred ways of playing separately and together?
PC.
Yeah, I think we've had the most fun together playing like survival games, like The Forest, I think was the one we've had the most fun because that one particularly it kind of forces you to stay together in order to survive, you know? So other games like Minecraft will be off doing our own things. Same thing with like Conan Exiles. But those survival games, I think we've had the most fun together.
Yeah, PC. I mean, like I mentioned, I was Xbox before Adam and I met.
Mhm.
And then Adam was strictly strictly PC. And he basically said we're a console free household. Like not really, but he basically
You just gotta come and see what life is like on the other side.
Yeah. So we didn't have any until the Switch came out, and then we got the Switch when it came out.
Yeah, and there's something about playing on the couch, like you were saying earlier. Sitting on the couch together playing is great fun,
Yeah.
and it's a different experience, especially now where our computers are in different offices, so which is great for audio because it was really annoying sitting next to each other. And
Especially
like,
when I
that
moved in
sounds
Discord.
yeah.
Yeah. He would be recording something for YouTube for
Oh, yeah. And watching
his
YouTube
Minecraft
with her,
videos. And I'm in the background squawking, playing Apex. Like,
Really, really good editing, I'm sure.
yeah.
I tried that. It took too long. So one video or two are edited, and the rest are just like, what did you just say?
Or I think
Not
I was playing like Phasmophobia at that time too. And those were funny.
Right.
Nox, I know you said you don't really you don't play Overwatch with your significant other, but do you play any other games?
We played Mario Kart once.
How'd that
Had a
go?
very, very similar experience to a lot of people in here where I grew up with Nintendo and he did not. His dad is a huge PC gamer.
Oh.
Elder Scrolls Online, Skyrim, loves that. Has been playing it for years. Recently we got him into Baldur's Gate and that's all he's been playing.
Yeah.
So he's loving it. But
Mhm.
my boyfriend grew up with, I believe, Xbox his entire life. He still has an Xbox. He has the newest one that he plays all his games on. And I grew up with Nintendo. He did not. We played a few rounds of Mario Kart and he got a little frustrated because he wasn't very good and I was. This was also probably our fourth date. So really testing it early.
Right.
Yeah. So he had not mastered the Rainbow Road like you.
Had not. No. We got a little frustrated on that one. That being said, I was trying to rack my brain. There's not a lot of games we have actively played together other than Overwatch, but my favorite thing we ever did was he was in his old apartment, really small 1-bedroom setup. He had his big 50-inch TV in the corner, and then on top of like a Rubbermaid container, I had my little 30-inch TV right next to it. So I would play on my PlayStation and play Overwatch, and then he'd play Far Cry 5 and Red Dead 2 on his Xbox. So we weren't ever playing together.
Right.
But it was still fun in the way that we were still both enjoying a hobby together in the same space on that kind of like couch co-op setup.
Yeah, and that's great. That's like what we would do when we were in the same office. It was just being together was great. Whether we were playing the same game or not.
Yeah.
I was more vocal than he was, so he kicked me out.
Phoon 2. What's been your favorite game to play together of all time?
All time. Yeah, definitely survival game. So, like Phoon said, we recently got PC and then we have the gaming laptop. So we started playing Valheim, and it was, before getting the PC, it was always an amazing experience watching Phoon create buildings and scavenge the lands. So being there with her in the game, it was pretty fun. But other than that, we played Overwatch a couple times, and I noticed that you became a lot more competitive and more vocal with your trash talking.
Listen, that's the influence of the server. That's not me.
We take no responsibility for that. There's a liability waiver that you sign when you enter. Totally, definitely.
Just blame Bandito.
Apex too, though.
Oh yeah, Apex too. I was honestly surprised. She was never a first-person shooter when we first started, like I said, but she's developed her skills drastically. She's pretty awesome to see in the years that we've been together.
I'm a drastically developed one-trick Mercy.
No,
Yeah, like you went from bronze to silver and you've arrived, right?
platinum.
Actually, I was at Plat for a bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I will blame Drazzle for not being in Plat anymore. And when she hears this, you know this. We're gonna have a conversation.
Oh no. Oh no.
Gosh.
She's gonna slander me on the next podcast.
Yeah, a little
Slowly
tit for
just
tat.
creating drama in the form of
Yeah.
Spotify podcast.
Good.
We're gonna have to have
It
sections
helps.
on the front and back for people to respond to what somebody else said
Yeah.
in the last episode.
So on
Yeah.
today's episode, we have a new segment.
This is what makes our server fun. We all
Yeah.
interact with each other, and there's always something going on.
Mhm.
Let us
But-
know down in the comments if anybody wants to have a server specific episode. It's on our list of topics to do, but we haven't gotten there yet. So
The lore.
the
All
lore,
the lore.
all the history.
Server lore.
Oh gosh, it goes on and on.
Mhm.
Funny, Adam. How about you guys? What's your favorite game of all time to play together?
Yeah, I think we said the forest, right?
Yeah.
Forest.
Forest or Conan Exiles.
Yeah.
We really like Conan Exiles. He likes those type of survival games, and I do too, but I am a little bit more sophisticated in what games I will play. I have to have them be a little bit better graphics
Oh.
than Valheim.
Oh,
He would want me to play Valheim, and I have it, and I've tried playing it. That's his survival game. I think it's just the graphics for me. Like, I want to make my character.
The character creation lacks quite a bit.
Yeah. Like, I'm
little
really
bit.
into character creation, hence why I absolutely love Conan Exiles, Baldur's Gate. Like, I want to make the prettiest character ever.
Which is the funny thing.
It's so fun.
because our funnest game, The Forest, she shows up and she's like this short Mexican dude or something. Because you only have the default your guy and then the other guy on the plane or whatever.
Wearing like a bunch of
Yeah.
rotted fish.
But The Forest, like I said before, it forces you to stay together because otherwise all of a sudden there's a group of guys around you and you're like,
No. Yeah, so we like that one would probably be our favorite to play
Mhm.
together. Or Conan Exiles.
yeah.
Minecraft has a special place in our heart, but for some reason his new computer, like
I don't know. I can't play Minecraft anymore. My computer decided one day it won't run it. And I'm like the tech guy who's supposed to figure this stuff out. So
The game that could run on my 2016 MacBook Air can't run on your computer.
exactly.
I used to run RL Craft, which if you're familiar with that,
Yep.
is like hundreds of mods, right? And sure, it would lag sometimes, but it worked. And nowadays, for some reason, I can't play it at all. Just not even. I don't even know if I can play vanilla.
Happen to
So
post
it's
that in
very
the-
frustrating.
Have you happened to post that in the tech support channel?
No,
You should. Usually, we get the brain trust in
yeah, I actually do have an issue I'd like to post there. Besides that, so
There you go.
thank you
Poke
for
us.
directing me there.
there. Yeah, of course. I'm in there. Phoon's in there. It's great. We offer all the
Excellent.
tech support advice.
Oreo and I are in there. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Forget who's on the tech squad at this point, but it's a
Yeah.
good tag. It's a good tag. It's nice to have that support network.
Hmm.
It's really adorable that you guys, your favorite game is The Forest to play together. Because Bunny, I tried playing that with you, and oh my god, it was terrifying. So I'm really glad
Yeah.
we can get you guys to bond, because
Yeah.
that game is kind of a little bit stressful.
Yeah.
Well, that's what bonds you.
Sorry, we're throwing Bandito under the bus again, so better have him in your next episode. But he like wanted to build that like huge house right in the like highway that all the bad guys run.
Yeah.
I
And
remember
we're like, dude, it's like we can't even do anything because these guys are killing us
Just
left and
knocking on
right.
your door. But that's what generates the like togetherness, because you're always fighting for survival. Like, oh no, there's a Virginia in our camp. What are we supposed to do? And then
Yeah.
the cleanup afterwards. The funniest thing was every time we'd get on, we spent the first like 15 minutes mowing the lawn,
Yeah.
because our compound, you got to cut the grass so you can see stuff. It was like a nice little homestead.
that. We're gonna have to try that.
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
So are there any games in particular that y'all have found to be really good or really bad to play together? Like, just don't even touch it, or every couple should always pick up this one?
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two is I highly recommend.
I'm glad somebody
Even-
brought it up.
Yep.
I just thought about it.
Yeah, even like friends. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a relationship, but yeah, it's that game. I don't know if what awards it has won, if any, but that is a really fun game to play
Yeah.
with a second person.
Mhm.
And that's kind of how it was made. I mean, it's about a husband and a wife going through, a hard time, and they have a kid, and so working on that relationship. So it's kind of relationship building and stuff like that. Again, I think you could totally play it two friends and have a blast.
Yeah.
It's a really fun game, but that one for sure.
Yeah, good story and diverse gameplay. You're always changing your roles of what you're supposed to be focused on and stuff. So it's very it's very interesting, unique game.
Yeah, and one level, like I'm just using like one level, the girl, the mom, might be like the head or the lead of that level. And then the guy is like the support type of thing. And then it swaps. So it's not like just
Yeah, like one time you're in a dinner plate boat or something like that, and I'm manning the rudder, so directing where we're going, while got this like electric gun or something, and she's shooting these killer bees that keep trying to come after us.
yeah, it's
And then in another one, she has a nail gun, and I have like a rubber band thing or something. So she's got to like shoot the nails in a location where we can swing or something.
Yes.
But they're always very cool, like get you to work together,
yeah,
cool, whatever.
yeah, super fun. What was those puzzle games we got that were like $1 on Steam? We played one and really liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could pull it up while we look at something
Yeah.
else.
Conan Exiles is one of my favorite, just because of the graphics pulled me in, but then also like the combat and the like collecting stuff and building. I think it was kind of a step up to me from Valheim. So if you like it,
Right.
if you like Valheim, you're gonna love Conan. And I really, really, really like that game. Yeah, and We Are Here is
We were here,
We
and
Were
we
Here.
were here too. They were on super sale, and they're kind of low tier, but it's just a fun puzzle game that you
Yeah.
can.
where like one person gets to see everything and the other person is doing everything. So it's very much like one person is explaining what to do
Hmm.
while the other person does it. So it's a very good communicating game.
Yeah.
So like a less stressful version of everybody keep talking or everybody
Keep talking and no one explodes.
Yeah.
What a
Maybe,
wonderful game.
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
it's really good. And they're like, I think one of them is free on Steam, and then the other
Mhm.
ones are within like under $10. So, yeah, just a good relationship building, communicating game. Yeah, so we are here. I think
And
there's
I
three of them.
think I wouldn't say like don't touch, but I think the competitive games are always going to be a little harder to play together just because you're always pushing to be the best and stuff. And so if they're not pulling their weight, it can, or if you think they're not, or if, yeah, whatever, it can be the grounds for a little bit of strife. So if you're, if you get a little sweaty, then you might want to steer clear of those.
thing nobody here is sweaty. It's not like we named a podcast after it or something.
Oh, never
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
Phoon
Back
2.
in
How
my
about
day, they called it try hard.
Phoon 2. What about you? What would be your all-time favorite game to play as a couple? Like the one that you think everybody should do if they're in a relationship and enjoy gaming together? And also conversely, which one should maybe you never touch?
It's hard for me to say because again, Phoon 2 isn't that competitive when we play games together, not in a way that he's gonna like make me feel bad if I mess up tremendously, which in Apex happens a lot. Apex has specifically shown me how much he loves me because while I'm dying in the ring, he's so good at Apex, but he will come and he will die with me and I'll be like, no, go on, save yourself. And he goes, no, I'm gonna be here with you. So that's a very hard question because he is very kind and understanding with me while playing games. I will say though, he did make me kind of frustrated for the first time, I think ever in Valheim, when he killed all of our dogs. When I told him not to go into the swamp. I said, turn around, and he kept going straight off the road. And then it was too late. I was like, make a left here, and he's like, no. But what do you think?
No, so I do have an annoying trait sometimes. I do backseat game.
Oh my god, you do.
So with the first person shooters, I will give tips and like oh, you should have done this, but yeah, I try to catch it sometimes. But I think just survival games, like you guys were saying, it really creates a strong bond. And yeah, I think when we first got the PC, we sat for the whole weekend. I think we clocked in a good 19 hours in one go of just Valheim.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Sweated it out.
I just like being with you and being in your presence with video games because I've never really taken them too seriously for the most part. So just being able to experience our like hobby with each other is more than enough for me. But if you are competitive and that would upset you, I would say to stay away from games like that.
Do you have any games that you'd recommend or tell people to avoid?
Overwatch. Don't play Overwatch together.
I think that's
Just
a
don't play
general.
Overwatch, period.
That's also an opinion I've been
Separate
having
conversation.
recently. This might come up a little bit later. I am patiently waiting for Baldur's Gate to have a crossplay. The minute crossplay comes out, I will my boyfriend and I will have a combined campaign. It's just right now I play on PC and he plays on Xbox. And even if I were to go, I would buy another PlayStation. That would be my next purchase if I was going to get a console. Even if I were to go buy a PS5 tomorrow, Xbox and PS5 still can't play together. So patiently waiting for that day because I've enjoyed playing Baldur's Gate with friends in campaigns
Yeah.
together. I think it's not a survival game, but I think it kind of gives that same amount of like, you have to rely on each other, you have to make decisions together.
Yes.
And you have to build together to get to where you need to go. So I patiently await the day that Baldur's Gate is crossplay. And Larian has said, I'm looking at you, Larian. You said you're working on it. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And developers can always be trusted.
Looking at you now, Blizzard. Get your shit together. What's up?
What are you gonna do when you play crossplay? And you're gonna have to explain who Gale is to you.
Oh, he knows.
We've had that conversation.
He talks to me about Shadowheart, so it's all mutual.
And just so we're all clear, the 3 ladies right now on this podcast, we are all Gale girlies.
Gale girlies.
Yes.
Gale gals.
Finally, I'm among my people.
Yeah.
I think Gale was the first person who tried to romance me. It's like,
I've also found it's dangerously easy. I know this is not a Baldur's Gate episode, but it's dangerously easy, even when you're romancing another character, to just romance Gale.
Exactly.
Like it leaves it open.
I was telling Adam this, and like the run through I'm doing now, like I was like, I cannot have Gale on my, like in my campaign at all, because if he's in my campaign, I'm going to romance him. And I had to have him for one battle, and it was like instantly his like exclamation point came up after the battle. I was like, no, I cannot talk to him. And it was the one, like he was just like, you know, I think I love you. Like, don't talk to me. I'm trying to do a Starion in this run through. So
back in your pants, Gale.
like, what is
left his
like? I was
arm
like,
in-
I can't do this. I can't do this because he's gonna like fall in love with me, and then I'm gonna have to break his heart because I'm gonna break up with him, and yeah. But
So as much as I love talking about Baldur's Gate, and I could for 8 more hours,
yes,
kind of
yeah.
return to the next kind of
Exactly.
question I wanted to pose, which is, are there any games that you guys currently have your sights on that you want to play together in the future?
We've talked about playing Small World. What's the other one like that?
Grounded.
Grounded. Yeah, I've heard that's a lot of fun, and it looks like it would be another fun survival game to play together.
Yeah.
Make sure no one's scared of spiders. That's all I've been told.
Yeah.
I've heard that as well.
I will not be playing Grounded. So
I've had the joy of sitting in chats while other people have played it and heard the panic.
Yeah, I would say those are like the 2 that I mean, and they're out. They're not any like games coming. Pal World is one that I asked Adam if he would be interested in. Is that how you pronounce it, or is it Paul
I
World?
think so.
It's Pal World.
Pal
yeah.
World.
I thought it was called Pokemon with guns.
Yeah. I told Adam about
Same
it. Like
thing.
I was like, "Would you be interested?" He said, "Yeah," but they're going through a lawsuit right now. So
Are they getting sued? I know the creator of the Pokemon mod was getting sued separately.
oh, maybe that's what Adam heard.
Yeah, we just heard somebody was getting sued.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody went and modded and went and literally put in Ash and all the other trainers from the
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon anime, and all the Pokemon replaced
Excellent.
the Pals. And that guy I know was getting sued.
That sounds great, though. I think that sounds super fun.
Oh, literally, he did it within within 48 hours of the game.
I'm about to
coming
say
out or
the
something.
game's been out for a week.
He had it out
Not
within the first
even.
weekend.
Yeah.
Is that
So
so? That's a multiplayer game.
I
It
believe
is.
so.
It is. Because that was one of the things when I was researching it. If it was something I was going to buy, I was curious if people in the Discord could join me. And it does look like it is.
We do have a couple people in the Discord. If there's any interest in an episode on that, especially I have a little bit of knowledge of the IP side of that, where Nintendo might actually try and go with that argument. Let us know.
Baldur's Gate is one too. I mean, we have started a campaign together, but I think we've put it on hold until we actually complete the game, so we can complete it on our own. And so we played, I think, a few hours together. But I think just playing it more, we're excited about. So
Yeah, we do have a campaign together. but we just haven't played a whole lot.
He created like the ugliest character, so I can't get over. I can't play with him.
I had to change. I made a GIF, like Githraki, and I chose one with like no nose, and so that's all she could
I was
talk
like
about.
the whole time. I'm like, I can't.
And I didn't
use
even
it.
realize it.
You
So
have
I
like
was like,
the
"Wow, I
tiniest
don't even
little
have a
nose
nose, do I?" So
Yeah, the tiniest little nose.
went to the mirror,
There you go.
got that fixed, got a nose job done.
There you go. What about you guys, Phoons? What are you guys looking forward to or want to play in the future?
Honestly, let's see. I don't think we've tried Rust yet together.
No, we
I think-
haven't. We
I
need
think
to do
that's-
that.
Yeah. You know, having over I think like 4,000 hours in Rust, I think will be a pretty fun experience to see.
I just forgot how
How-
toxic Rust was,
Eh,
though.
yeah.
Like, oh my god, I went on the official server the other day and instant abuse the minute you log in. It's so bad.
But other than
That's
that,
one I haven't played.
Well,
it's very fun. I had kind of combines the whole survival and first person shooter, I think 50-50 pretty well. And then plus you could take someone else's house without
yeah.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can grief their
you
house.
could just grief their house.
Be like, oh, you betrayed me. And just start and don't do this. Don't do that to people's things. That's mean. That's wrong. But if you ever want to do a couple's date night, we could have like a double date in Rust, and it will be the least romantic thing ever. As we
Hit
blow up
squad.
space. No, I think we're kind of relaxed when it comes to choosing games. And Funtu is just he's always going to say yeah. If I'm like, hey, let's try this out, he's always going to say yes. So it's what happens after that. But Baldur's Gate would probably be fun to
That
play.
would be pretty fun. I was just thinking about that, yeah.
Yeah, but
But any games that are coming out, I don't have any in mind. But
we got to finish up Valheim.
Yeah,
We're
we
on the
got-
third boss. Ooh.
yeah, that's all I could think about right now.
Yeah, and we've been delaying the third boss just like a little bit too much. So I feel like I'm becoming kind of restless. So I just keep doing things now. Zach knows. Zach is making a face. Zach knows what I've been up to in Valheim because of this. So hopefully
Something about crows over
Chickens.
Greggy's house.
So many chickens.
No.
So many chickens. Oh, yeah, there was a seagull explosion as well, but mostly chickens.
Not seagull explosion. First, it was seagull towers because when you went away, you could see the seagulls coming up from Rag's house where I spawned them in. There were about like maybe 400 of those. Then we've decided we couldn't kill them because they kept coming back. Then there was the dragon incident. I have no responsibility for that, Zach. I think it just wanted to say hi to you.
Yeah, clearly.
Yesterday, I may have spawned in 1,000, 2,500, 600, something that one song, chickens, and aggroed are like 500 people.
Give Rent the respect it deserves.
Like Zelda Nightmare.
Don't, nope, we can't. 6 seconds, 6 seconds.
That was less than 6 seconds.
I don't
Zach, we get 8 views. No one's DMCAing us.
Yeah, we get 8 views now, but
and I don't think Phoon realizes how much power
Power, sorry.
not power. How much the performance decreases when you spawn in stuff. I kind of explained to her, some people aren't going to be able to go into the server due to your actions.
But sometimes you can't help it. When you have that power, you're just and then all of a sudden you drop 12 trolls in front of your friends. So But yeah, long-winded answer to your question.
No, love.
No, it's good.
We're
Good.
very excited for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. No, we like these discussions. We like long-winded answers. We like discussions. Like, goal of this is to always have a good conversation. Well, as we start to get towards the end of our main topic, what impact would you say gaming has had on you and your relationship, and how far it's gotten you? And do you think it's going to continue to be that type of a force in the future? Let's start with Phoon and Phoon 2.
Very good question. Say, so the reason why I got into gaming, so I, grew up with 3 younger sisters, so that was always fun. And then, grew up in I'm a first generation, so it was kind of a strict, do your schoolwork and don't go, don't watch too much TV and don't game too much. So, gaming was a little sanctuary for me. So, finding somebody that has the same amount of passion towards gaming and maybe thinking, oh, maybe instead of going out and doing other activities, maybe we could just stay inside and game and have the same amount of enjoyment or relaxation. It's great. But
Yeah, no, I agree with you fully. It's nice to find to be with somebody that allows you to explore activities you like. And I think gaming is just one of those things where it's just like, hey, you never tried a first person shooter before. Maybe if we do it together, you like it, and it kind of works out. So I don't know. I think we're going to be gaming into our future, but we do other stuff as well.
that's true.
Yeah, we're kind of, I think, balanced, and who knows what's going to happen in the future with us traveling and maybe a family, but I don't know. Maybe we could just have like children. They can also be little children gamers.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It'll be like
It's
that one
doable.
TikTok. Yeah, it's that TikTok where like everyone has their own monitor and they're all on Minecraft together.
Yeah.
But this time we'll be on Valheim spawning in chickens.
Excellent. Yes.
Yes.
Bunny, Adam, what about you guys?
I think one thing is like our other interests don't align very much, right? You'd agree?
Yeah.
So whether it's tabletop gaming or computer gaming or console gaming, it's been a really cool thing to be able to relate to each other on, especially like lately with Baldur's Gate. We've been having endless
Like
conversations about
we'll lay in bed for like an hour just chatting about like what we were doing.
yeah. So I did this. Like, what do I do now? I killed a Starian or something. That she told me, oh yeah, you can resurrect a Starian if you killed him at the beginning. So I go back like, weeks later or whatever. I'm like, hey bro. So yeah, being able to connect with each other with a shared hobby has been really cool, and definitely will be, doing it long into the future. I have a 13-year-old son, and so, I taught him at a young age how to get on Smite. It was his first game, I think, and then he quickly got into Minecraft after that. And so
Very
I've trained him
quickly.
up in the ways, he could WASD before he could, before he went to school.
Very
And
good spell WAS.
yeah. And we've had a great time together, the 3 of us playing Minecraft. So it's been another thing for the 3 of us to be able to relate together on. So yeah.
Anything to add, Bunny?
Yeah, I mean, I would say all that. I mean, I would agree. It's if we're not playing computer PC games or Switch together, we have a huge collection of tabletop games, so we'll play, that. It's one thing that we really enjoy together is playing games. Whether it's Dungeons and Dragons in real life, board games, or PC. Um,
And
it's
they're
really enjoyable to be able to have something that we can connect with. It's like weird because some people, are always like, oh, I could just never be with someone that plays video games all day. And I'm like, well, maybe you should get into them.
Yeah.
And then you will be able to, get into it and spend time with them and stuff like that. And there's so many games out there too, that you can play if you're not a gamer, with your significant other.
Another thing I would add is it can be a really cool grounds for building like working on your relationship, different aspects. Like we mentioned communication before, but when you're playing say Minecraft, for example, and you're just like, happily stacking blocks on blocks, and then all of a sudden you get this cry for help that there's an Enderman or something like that, and you're like, okay, I drop everything, I gotta run. Or for me personally, like I've played games so many more thousands of hours than has, right, in my life. And so I have this wealth of experience and also my own kind of like modus operandus, like this is how I play the game. And so it can be good to kind of get me out of my comfort zone and say, okay, like I need to kind of put that aside. This isn't, Adam's super high efficiency, min maxing to get there as soon as possible. It's like, let me go see if she wants to come with me, and let's actually have fun together, and not just we're playing the same game but not hanging out really or whatever. So yeah, I can, and also with my son, it's been a great opportunity to be able to be in that like teacher environment where like, oh, let me show you how to do this, and let me show you how to do this, and he's like eager to learn because I'm playing a video game, and I want to get good at it. And then there's also the opportunity for me to play a game that he's really interested in and really adept at, and then I could put myself in the position of like learning from him. And that's not something that you always get the opportunity to do, with your children. So yeah, there's a wealth of experience and fun and relationship building opportunities to be had in video games that, like mentioned, those people that kind of, I don't get how you could just play video games or whatever. Well, you should try it.
Maybe you'll like it.
Mhm.
Nox, your experience is a little different, but you and your boy toy.
Oh. This is recorded.
Yeah. And
I think I think there's been ups and downs with it, to be honest. I think when we had the experience of couch gaming together, whether it was different games or that one time we played Overwatch, it was really good. I think it's awesome to spend that, like, it was an awesome, like, mutual existing in the same space and still enjoying a mutual hobby together. I know in our relationship, I'm by far the bigger gamer. I can sit at my desk for hours. I've been here most of today playing games for hours on end. And he's more of like I'm going to play for a couple hours and then not play. So like the differ in our love for the hobby. So sometimes I think I spend too much time on video games, and I think that is something that sometimes our hobbies don't align. But I do think when we do share it together, it's been really awesome. And Bunny and Adam talked about it's an awesome to have a shared hobby as well, even when other hobbies outside of it might not align.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice thing. I'm hoping one day I'll get to experience that.
You will.
As we don't need to get into that conversation.
Yeah.
There's
It
hope
makes
for
you
you, Zach.
Yeah.
a chicken named Zach's wife. So
Apparently, I married a chicken. I
I'm
wasn't there
just
for the
saying.
ceremony, but
The marriage document was signed, so
apparently somewhere, somehow. Anyway, we're gonna start wrapping things up, and we're gonna go into our final segment. This is our usual, so we call it the real world, and we like to talk about usually things outside of gaming. Sometimes it is gaming related, but usually it's things that are going on in just our regular lives. The music we're listening to, the movies we're watching, books we're reading, things that are happening in our life at the moment. Bunny and Adam, you want to get us started? And
So you're saying we're going to talk about Baldur's Gate?
Hey, it's happened.
What do you think?
Like, what are we talking about?
Besides gaming or gaming,
besides gaming,
what's
just
going on in our lives?
Yeah.
And reading any books? You like some? Well, your new playlist is pretty fire.
I have a playlist on Spotify that's like I call it serotonin for ADHD. And the only time any song that I replay at least 4 times in a row goes on that playlist, which I do, surprisingly, hit replay like 4 times in a row. And so,
I think I was more talking about the like the emo punk versions. Classic song or whatever.
yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of This Is Our Last Night. They're like a band and they do a bunch of screamo covers of hit music. Our music tastes are like completely opposite. He's like a few years older than me. And we were like, one of our shared things was he's like, I love Blink 182. And I was like, I loved Blink 182. But he loved like the first few albums and had like, I was like, this is my favorite song. He's like, what? Who is this? I'm like, you said you like Blink 182.
I had Dude Ranch and Enema of the State.
okay.
And then they were dead to me after that.
No, there's one later album that's worth taking a look at. I'm not gonna remember which one it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, text me later.
I will.
But yeah, our music tastes are like totally opposite. So
We have a lot of shared music interests though.
Yeah.
Like we can both put on The Greatest Showman and just sit and cry. You know.
It's a solid album.
Yes.
so
The remixed ones are also quite good.
Yeah.
Was it Reimagined?
yeah. But I mean, we have chickens, only 6.
That's important to note. There's only 6.
Yeah.
I think
So
you could
I
have
mean, yeah,
525,600 more chickens.
yeah, that would be great. That's my
Yeah.
dream
She'd love to do a drop.
of chickens in my backyard. I might contact you about that food. So yeah, I mean, we just live life and take care of our chickens and listen to screamo music. Like,
The life.
Honestly, sounds like the dream.
So it's a
Yeah.
Phoon 2, how about you? What do you got going on?
So we live in the Windy City, where it's been a little bit less windy and a little bit more slushy and gross outside. But it's technically restaurant week. So Phoon 2 got us a reservation. I have no idea where we're going.
Surprise.
It's a surprise on Monday, apparently. But if anyone's in the city, they should definitely look at like the first couple weeks of January, February, because they always do restaurant week. And it usually, I mean, there's specials. So you'll go to a restaurant you might not ever think about going to, and they'll have like a 5-course menu you get to pick from, and everyone tries to put out, I think, their best game for it. So that's something that's going on that I'm excited about.
Yeah, and then hopefully in a couple more weeks, my work schedule will die down a little bit, and I'll be on the Discord and gaming out with you guys a little bit more. Yeah.
Sweet.
We're just very busy people.
Yeah.
Very, very. He works a lot and I work, but I also have grad school. So it's always like a luxury when we get to have some time
Absolutely.
to be together.
Mhm.
And as for music, do like music.
Love music.
But the screamo that we have in our house is our cat, who his name's Leo. He just screams constantly. So I guess we're kind of similar in like a way.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Zach, what do you got going on?
You go first.
I go first? Okay,
Yeah.
so before the podcast started recording, I forgot to grab them. They are on the table over here, these 2 books. Yeah, so that's
We see them.
Yes, so the last 2 books, those are books 5 and 6 in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas that I've been reading. I am almost done with book 4. I think there's a weird order thing. Anyway, So the two sitting there, the reason they're sitting together and it's not just, oh, I have one book next, is because these two books, the best way to read them is to tandem read them.
Oh, wow.
So I am gearing up to get that all set, and I will be reading those two books at one time, and they're both about 800 pages. So that's
Nice.
going to be not only just a challenge to read two books at the same time, but also a pain to carry around. They are hardcover. Super
What is-
excited for that.
What's the name of them? Of each of them?
It is Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms.
Is this Sarah J. Maas?
Yes. And the reason you read them together is that the story, both the stories take place at the exact same time from two different perspectives on two different planes of universe. So it's kind of hard to explain, but you get both perspectives then instead of reading one book from that same period of time and then going back and reading the next book from the same period of time. You can read them together. So
That's really cool. I've never heard of a.
it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You go.
It's one of those things that I don't think they were designed to do that, but actually the author just recently released her preferred reading order for the series, and she did say that she would tandem read. So I think that's really cool that it worked out like that and that she was able to create a story that can run parallel to the point where you could read them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's two of the Game of Thrones series that does that too. You can read them together because some of the characters are in one book and some of the characters are in another book. I don't remember which two it was, but I remember doing that. And they were thick books
Yeah.
that you had to carry around. So
Zach, what do you got?
I have no idea what to talk about. I don't have anything going on right now.
You got a haircut. He got a haircut, everyone. Spotify, if you haven't seen the video, come look. He got a haircut.
It's a very nice haircut.
I
You
don't
look
like
like
it.
a Hollywood movie star. You could be on the silver screen.
That's a TV screen.
You know what? I'm done here.
No, funnily enough, the guy, I went in there and I was like, yeah, I want it about this length. And he said, yeah, I don't really do that. Can you get a picture or anything? And jokingly, a couple weeks ago, when I was talking about getting a haircut with Spaz Oreo, who's been on the show before, I was like, maybe I should just hand him a picture of Tom Holland. Because Oreo quite adores Mr. Holland. So that's what I did. And, I ended up with this, and now I know that's not the picture I should go with.
yeah.
Looks
It does
good.
look great.
Yeah.
We'll see. I have a feeling I'll probably grow it out again. Maybe not quite that long, though. It was really long.
How long was it?
It was coming below my chin in the front, so.
Yeah, I just got a haircut too. Know where we're at right now, but it was probably twice as long or something. I'm lucky my cousin cuts my hair, and so I just go in and I say, well, you're the expert here, just make it look good,
Which always makes it easier.
Yeah.
I think I've had two good haircut experiences that I can recall. One of them was a random one in Warwick Mall in Rhode Island, and I tried to go there again, and the whole salon was gone. Just disappeared.
Wow.
Fly by night.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. And then the other time was when I dyed my hair purple, but that was I got really lucky with that salon.
So I got my hair cut one time in South Texas. I was living in the valley, they call it, the Rio Grande River Valley. And on Wednesdays, they had a deal for $1.75 for a haircut, for a men's cut. So I went in bravely.
That makes me so nervous.
And it was not bad, except for in the front, there was like a ramp on my head. So I went home and looked in the mirror and kind of was like, okay, let's fix this, Other than that, it was pretty good. And hey, $1.75, can't really complain. So
I always get nervous whenever I go to pay because so often now I have no idea what they're going to charge. I've been I went into, there was one particular salon when I lived in LA that I used to go to, and I think every time I went in there, I got a different price.
Yeah.
Also, when you start growing your hair out, to where you had it, you can start getting. As someone who worked at a salon for a while,
Oh yeah.
they'll start charging you women's cuts, which are more expensive.
Well, they always charge me for the women's cut, but it was funny because I went everywhere from $25 to I think one time I paid $50.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You would cry if you knew how much I spent on my hair.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah.
I think the last time I went in and I got it colored, so that's a whole other
Mhm.
cost in and of itself. I think it was $230.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
definitely one of those things you have to save up for.
Yeah.
color costs a lot.
Mhm.
What the reason why I don't try and keep purple hair anymore. On that note, thanks everyone for joining us. Hope you enjoyed our discussion today. We release these episodes weekly, but if that's not often enough for you, join our Discord server. Links down in the doobly-doo. If you want to offer your own insight, you have any ideas, anything you want to hear from us, anything you want to talk to us about, or you think we just sound like a cool group of people, join us in that link. And we have a role now for it, so there's actually a whole separate chat just for this podcast. Bunny, Adam, Phoon, Phoon 2, thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Can't wait for next episode, Snowflake server fight club. Really excited. I know this is a challenge.
We'll discuss that. Thank you everyone for listening to us, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Hi.
Bye.
No, stop that.
Yes, Sam.
No.